All right, ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? Thursday, May 12th, 2022. Thank you for joining me here tonight for another metallic episode of Music of Destruction. Bringing you guys the very best in metal related content right here on YouTube on the only metal channel you need. If you missed anything, click it. Bring down that menu. Everything you need to get caught up on all of my latest content is there. I'd certainly appreciate it. Remember to hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications so you know when I post a new video. You're looking at one of the hardest working metal channels. No one's going to give it to you the way I do. Opinionated, upfront, unfiltered, and brutally honest. If you love that, you're in the right place. If you don't, go watch someone who'll lie to you. Welcome to Top 15 Thursdays here on the channel. Tonight I'm excited for another special episode that I've been continuing with this series. And I'm sure you guys are going to love this. I'll be doing many videos like this in the future, and I'll be getting back to doing my top 15 metal bands from each country, but I wanted to go through the years of metal that I've been into it, because there's so many albums that have had such tremendous impact on me as a metalhead, and have really enriched my life in so many ways and got me through so many dark fucking times. But anyway, we're moving on to my top 15 metal albums of 1996, a new decade. This is midway through the 90s, and this is when metal was still doing really well, okay? And there were a lot of subgenres branching off, as I've said in previous videos, all different kinds of stuff coming out at this time, especially in the southern sludge metal scene, which was, you know, really prevalent since the early 90s, but still, like, there's so many great bands coming out of many different recesses of the world and regions and all that kind of stuff, different genres. Very, very cool stuff. All right, so let's just get into it here. Coming in at number 15, Gravedigger with Tunes of War, released in 1996 on Gun Records. German heavy power metal legends Gravedigger making this list. This is one of the greatest power metal albums I've heard. It's old school, kind of meets that newer 90s stuff, but Gravedigger is one of those bands that I can dig, and I love Sabotage as well, but Gravedigger, gotta get some of their stuff. This is such an incredible, epic, battle-themed driven album with many battle rhythmic sections on the guitar, you know, that polyrhythmic battle sections. The drumming is absolutely incredible. It makes you think of triumphant, victorious battles and the glory of battle and stuff like that. This is just such a triumphant, powerful record that is very uplifting. The production on here is not too clean, it's not too raw, it's kind of meets in the middle. A very incredible album. Gravedigger, Tunes of War gets number 15. Coming in at number 14, Mystifier-The, The World Is So Good That Who Made It Doesn't Live Here, released in 1996 on Osmose Productions, Brazilian bestial black metal. Taking a lot of influence from Sarcophago, Mystifier formed and came up with this. This is some of the most primitive bestial black metal of the South American metal scene. And for this to be something that makes my list means it's very special, because Mystifier is one of those bands that I think got swept under the rug in a lot of ways, but this is such an incredible, powerful, profound statement of bestial black metal. Taking influence from Blasphemy and Sarcophago, obviously, they came up with this, and this is the perfect mash of those influences, and it's just so goddamn raw and chaotic and insane and violent and aggressive and raw and hateful. It's fucking perfect. Mystifier, The World Is So Good That Who Made It Doesn't Live Here gets number 14. Coming in at number 13, we have USA Goth doom metal legends Typo Negative with October Rust, released in 1996 on Roadrunner Records. Rest in peace to Mr. Peter Steele. Typo Negative, going to be getting a lot of their stuff. They are one of the staples of the USA Goth doom metal scene. In fact, Goth doom metal in general, having that whole vampiric romanticism mixed with a lot of depression and sorrow and melancholy. This is one of the bands, I would say, that really set the benchmark for funeral doom in a lot of ways, because they have that sound. They're just more, they have a lot of goth too, but along with skepticism and their goth, and I would say that Typo Negative definitely helped to pioneer the funereal aspect of funeral doom metal, and this is no exception to that. This is one of the most brilliant albums of 1996 from Typo Negative. October Rust gets number 13. Coming in at number 12, USA Psychedelic Progressive Metal Legends Tool with Aenima, released in 1996 on Volcano Music. I need to get this album again. This is one of Tool's best fucking albums. Tool in 1996, very relevant. This is their third album. This would really start to establish Tool's stronghold in the realm of psychedelia in metal and drug-induced trips, and very incredible progressive metal, showing what progressive metal could be. And you know what? Fuck Dream Theater. I can't stand that band. Tool are the real deal. Okay, this is an album that is very juxtaposing, it's very surreal, it's very psychedelic, acid-driven stuff, and it's Tool. It's Aenima, 1996. It's number 12. It's incredible. Coming in at number 11, Forgotten Woods, The Curse of Mankind, released in 1996 on No Colors Records. Norwegian black metal legends. Again, one of those bands that I said helped to pioneer depressive black metal. Forgotten Woods, The Curse of Mankind, you could easily put in the depressive black metal category. It's got all of the elements of depressive black metal. It's a bit faster tempoed in places, but the production, the atmosphere, the melancholy, the misanthropy, and the sadness is all here with Forgotten Woods, The Curse of Mankind. And along with Strid and Bursum and Bethlehem, Forgotten Woods, I've put in that list of my top 15 depressive black metal bands, or I think it was top 25. But anyway, yeah, it's Forgotten Woods, The Curse of Mankind had to make this list. There's no way it wasn't going to. They're one of my favorite bands. Gets number 11. Coming in at number 10, Masacre-Sacro, released in 1996 on Lorito Records. Colombian death metal legends here. Death thrash. Or death metal, sorry, making the list here. This is absolutely incredible. You still have a little bit of thrash metal elements in this, but for this band to not be on more people's lips, I don't fucking get it. This is Colombian death metal, and they have their own sound. Like, this is like South American to the core. You got a lot of Sepultura influence in here. You've got some Sarcophago influence in here. And they took that and they ran with it, and they came up with their own sound, obviously. I mean, they don't sound like those two bands, but the framework that was laid by Sepultura and Sarcophago can be found here, and they pay homage to that with respect to what their influences were, and the resulting effort is just absolutely fucking astounding. You guys need to check out Masacre, sorry, Sarco from Colombia. This is great stuff. Number 10. Coming in at number 9, USA death metal legends, Immolation, New York death metal, of course, Hereinafter, released in 1996 on Metal Blade Records. I'm going to be getting some Immolation. They are one of my favorite New York death metal bands, along with Incantation. You've got Mortician, you've got Immolation, and you got Suffocation. I'm not a Suffocation fan. I don't mind Mortician, but Immolation and Incantation are very high up on my list of East Coast death metal bands. And what I love about this style is you can have that New York hardcore influence, and this album definitely has it, along with some doom, but you can certainly hear that foundation of New York hardcore in New York death metal. And Hereinafter is one of those albums that blew me away. The expectations were high for this one, and it fucking lived up to them. And it's one of my favorite albums of 1996. Immolation is a legendary band. If you haven't heard Hereinafter, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Immolation's Hereinafter gets number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have Judas Iscariot with Thy Dying Light, released in 1996 on Moribund Records. USA black metal legends. This is an incredible album. It's melancholic, it's hateful, it's dark, it's occult, it's vampiric. It's very, very atmospheric. It's very cold. It's very environment-driven stuff. The album cover says it all. I mean, it feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere, bleak gray winter, no one around. It's very serene, it's very cold, it's misanthropic, and it's very dark stuff. And it's Judas Iscariot, man. I mean, he's a fucking legend. Gets number 8 with Thy Dying Light. Great stuff. Coming in at number 7, Marduk, Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered, released in 1996 on Osmose Productions, Swedish black metal legends. This was when Legion was still in the band. He left in 2003 with World Funeral and Mortus. Came over from Funeral Mist on Plague Angel of 2004, which is an amazing album. But Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered is just 32 minutes of blasting cacophonic insanity. This is one of the most evil black metal albums of all fucking time. Marduk would move away from the so much super satanic theme stuff. Their music got more intellectual and thought-provoking after Mortus joined the band, because he brought a lot more to the table in terms of historical lyrics and things of that nature. But this is an absolute amazing album, a true testament to anti-Christianity and Satanism. And I mean, it's Marduk. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, and they always will be. Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered from Marduk gets number 7. Coming in at number 6, USA heavy power metal legends, Dio. Rest in peace to Mr. Ronnie James Dio, my favorite vocalist of all time, alongside Phil Anselmo. Angry Machines, released in 96 on Mayhem Records. I don't know why so many people in the I've read some of the reviews on the album that shit on it. It's not soft. It's not as heavy as Strange Highways, but Dio was one of those bands that had many different dimensions and peaks and valleys to their music and nuances. You know, they have so many influences, including classical music. So for people to not say this is a good album, I don't understand what the problem is. Angry Machines is all about the AI takeover that they're trying to put on us right now. I mean, it's so relevant, and it's almost 30 years later with this album. Ronnie James Dio was a brilliant lyricist, and Dio is a brilliant fucking band. This is an incredible album. I love it to death. There's not a bad Dio album, in my opinion. Some are less favorable to me than others. Some are more memorable, but it's Angry Machines from Dio. It gets number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Acid Bath with Pagan Terrorism Tactics, released in 1996 on Rotten Records. USA Sludge, Doom Metal Legends, making the list once again. I know people are going to say, why didn't it get number 1 like When the Kite String Pops did for your 94 video? Because I don't like it as much as When the Kite String Pops. I love Acid Bath, I love both albums, but the production was a bit too clean, and it lost some of that charm that When the Kite String Pops had. It's still a brilliant album. It's still dark, it's still sludgy, it's still psychedelic, it's still nightmarish, it's still misanthropic, but and the compositions on here are amazing, the songwriting's amazing, but that production is too clean for my liking. It's still a brilliant album, but if they had kept that more raw production of When the Kite String Pops, this probably would have been higher on the list. Number 5, Acid Bath, Pagan Terrorism Tactics. Coming in at number 4, another USA Sludge Doom Metal Legend with I Hate God, Dopesick, released in 1996 on Century Media Records. When I did my I Hate God albums ranked video, this album got number 1. It's getting number 4 here. This is a legendary band formed in 1988. I'll be doing a podcast for you channel members on I Hate God as well. In fact, I'm probably going to do one for USA for sludge metal very, very soon after I do the next 2 podcasts that you members have asked for. But yeah, it's I Hate God's Dopesick. They're legends. This is a brilliant album. It's full of misanthropy, doom, sadness, melancholy, drug addiction, and excess. And that's what I Hate God were famous for. And the singer did manage to kick his heroin addiction. I imagine other members of the band were drug users as well. But yeah, it's I Hate God. It's Dopesick. It's a fucking brilliant album and a true testament to the darkness and misery of drug addiction. And it's absolutely amazing. A true testament to USA Sludge. Great stuff. Coming in at number 3, Cryptopsy, None So Vile, released in 1996 on Wrong Again Records. Canadian brutal death metal legends making their appearance. The last album we would see with Mr. Lord Worm, Hail Lord Worm. Not as good as Blasphemy Made Flesh, but again, an album that deserves merit. It deserves my attention. I love None So Vile. Their first 3, Ungentle Exhumation, Blasphemy Made Flesh, and None So Vile in that order. Well, no, Blasphemy Made Flesh in that order, and then Ungentle Exhumation, and this is my 3rd favorite Cryptopsy album, I believe. Or no, number 2 got on my list. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's brutal, it's uncompromising, it's fast, it's aggressive, it's dark, it's raw. The production's a bit cleaner on this one. It's not as chaotic as Blasphemy Made Flesh, but it's very structured and centered. It's still an amazing record, but everyone dick rides this album, and it seems like they forget about Blasphemy Made Flesh, which kind of doesn't sit right with me, but everybody has their opinions. This is still, I love None So Vile, I just love Blasphemy Made Flesh more. This one gets number 3. Coming in at number 2, Burzum with Philosophem, released in 1996 on Misanthropy Records. Norwegian black metal legend Varg. Burzum's Philosophem was an album that helped set the precedent for depressive black metal, as well as Forgotten Woods, Strid, and Bethlehem. And this is a brilliant album, one of Burzum's best albums. Very cold, raw, dark, ambient, and very contemplative. It's very depressing in a lot of ways, but it's also extremely enchanting and serene and brilliant and beautiful and heavy in a lot of ways. It's just such a great record. Varg's 23-minute epic is on this. I don't know how to pronounce it in... I think it's called Transcendental Serenity, Transcendental Pillars of Serenity Around the Singularity or something. I can't remember the name. I'm trying to remember without looking it up. But yeah, this is an absolute brilliant album, and there's nothing about this record I would change. Burzum's Philosophem gets number 2. Coming in at number 1, we have the USA Groove Thrash Metal Legends Pantera, The Great Southern Trendkill. This album destroyed so many doubts about Pantera. It saved metal in 1996 in a lot of ways, and this is a true testament to Pantera's legacy. This is their best album. It's just pure on seething venomous fucking rage from this 4-piece amazing band that lost 2 of the greatest metal musicians in history, Mr. Dimebag Daryl Abbott and Mr. Vincent Paul Abbott. Rest in peace. Such a tragedy that the world lost these 2 gods of metal, and this album just one of the fucking most angry albums of all time, one of the most well-written, one of the most incredible in terms of musicianship, lyrics, emotion, passion, conviction, and just overall raw seething venom. The Great Southern Trendkill nailed it. It got number 1. Pantera, one of my favorite fucking bands of all time. Absolutely. Alright, so there you have it, another top 15 in the books here on the channel. Hope you enjoyed the premiere. If you're new, subscribe, turn on those notifications, hit that bell. Merchandise, bonfire.com/store/music-of-destruction. I have a Teespring. Got to make a new banner for that so I can put the correct link in. They changed that shit. Anyway, there's merch on Teespring as well. It's in the description. Make sure you check out both. I'd appreciate it. Join the channel. Hit the join button. Become an MOD Elite for $4.99 per month. Get amazing perks. You get exclusive content, review requests, band interviews, and collaborations. I'm doing an interview with Josh of Morticide on Friday. We're going to be doing it on StreamYard. I'm going to be doing it pre-recorded, and then it will be uploaded on Saturday. That's just some of the stuff you get for supporting the channel, so make sure you do that. Thank you to those who are supporting, and for you for watching tonight. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you for Metal Album Warfare Fridays. Have a great night.